Welcome, everybody, to Bearcat Insider. I'm Chance Kirby. I'm with everybody's favorite assistant, Travis Marsh, and we're here to talk about game day. It's a battle of the Bearcats, and I want to get this out of the way early.
Yep.
I'm going to make a prediction and dad joke all in one sentence. I guarantee a Bearcat victory.
Dang right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, before you start sending me texts and emails, all of you out there, think about what I just said.
Yeah. And we're inundated with Whitesboro folk.
We are.
Our superintendent is a Whitesboro graduate.
They're amongst us.
Our principal was an all-state kicker for the Bearcats, the Whitesboro Bearcats, and a Whitesboro grad. And they are firmly behind the Pilot Point Bearcats in this endeavor this week. So I think we've converted some.
And I have a buddy that's embedded with the enemy, which
Yeah.
I have no doubt he'll listen to this preview.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Eddie Wood.
Yeah. Funny story about Eddie. Whenever I officially met him, it was at the Whitesboro track meet, and I was with you. And y'all were talking on the fence, and we got to talking, and then I've coached against Eddie's son, John Wood, when I was at Sanger, and John played middle linebacker, and I don't remember if he was a tight end or a fullback for Whitesboro on offense, but Eddie's son, John, was a fantastic ball player. He would get after it. He was definitely somebody that if we were doing a preview show back then, you were going to talk a whole lot about John Wood. And so, Eddie, shout out to you. Great job raising a great kid. He was a fantastic athlete and a fun person to compete against back in the day. But the Love Fest is now over.
Now let's get serious.
Yep. So we have the 1-5 Whitesboro Bearcats come into Massey Stadium Friday night at 7:30.
Don't let that fool you as I sit here and look at their schedule.
Yes. So their one win is over Ponder. It was 22-6 victory. Ponder's a good football team. Okay, I've seen them on tape with the trade tapes that we have that Whitesboro has given us. And for those at home that don't understand how this works, we send each other game film. It's a obligatory trade, and so
That's a big word.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Okay.
But shameless promotion
I
there.
was going to say, we're open for
they're
sponsorship.
Not Holiday Inn Express. We're here if you need us.
We'll make room for you.
I promise you. We'll talk about you all the time. Ponder's a good football team. They are very much improved from what they've been in the past. So that's a good win for the Whitesboro Bearcats. But they have losses. They're 5 losses. In district, they've lost to Brock and Boyd, 2 really good football teams. They lost to Bells, okay, which is a good football team. And then they've lost to Aubrey. Very good football team. They just beat Salina this past Friday night. And then our common opponent is Gunner. They have a 42-10 loss to Gunner. They played them the week before we played them. So the 1-5 record is misleading. Don't let that fool you that, they're just a 1-5 football team, no big deal. Nothing like that. It's a good job by them. Their head coach Cody Fagan, year 2 for him. You can tell that they've adopted his system. They are going to be a spread option. They like to run triple option out of pistol. So you're going to have 2 slots. They're going to go in motion, and then you're going to have a deep back that's going to be about 4 yards behind the quarterback who's in shotgun. And they will make us play assignment football. You're going to have to go back to, unfortunately, it's going to be assignment football the way that Gunner made us play assignment football.
And that's what you said about Paradise as well.
Yeah, and it is. It's just that's the way the scheme works. Now, looking at the history of the Whitesboro Bearcats versus the Pilot Point Bearcats, we have played Whitesboro 3rd most all time. Okay, we are 28-8-3 against them. We have won the past 2 games in 2019 and 2018, and the last time the Whitesboro Bearcats won was a 21-12 win in 2017.
Once Coach Gill got there, I'm going to say a rivalry quote, but it's true. You could pretty much throw the records out. Whatever record Whitesboro brought to us once Coach Gill arrived did not matter.
Yep.
We were going to get everything they have.
Well, I was at Sanger whenever Coach Gill got that job. I think he was maybe their 2nd year whenever I played him as a coach at Sanger. And you could see a different Whitesboro. They were the athletes that they had increased their athleticism. Their schemes were really good. They played hard. And Coach Gill really was able to build that Whitesboro program into something that it hadn't been. And I'm not throwing darts at Whitesboro, but they had never had any type of success on the football field until Coach Gill got there.
No, he created a total culture change.
And then they made the playoffs, and that was the first time in program history that they made the playoffs. I don't remember the year. But, they really have turned that program around in the past probably 15, 20 years. I don't know the exact time that Coach Gill arrived, but in the last 15 for sure, they've started to push towards becoming a perennial playoff team. Is now what they are. So, with that being said, let's get a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll come back and we'll talk about what's going to happen whenever Whitesboro has the ball.
Cat fans, one thing that I love about walking into the field house is looking at all the old pictures that you have from years past and being able to relive the history of those great teams and great players. And I love walking through with my sons and showing them a picture and saying, man, look at that guy, and telling them a story about a great play. And you can have the same opportunity to do that with your family by using Ashley Marsh Photography to capture your family's great memories. Seeing those pictures of your family will allow you to talk to your kids or your grandkids and tell great stories about things that you've done or things that you've seen or just funny memories that you might have. So if you ever want to document your family's history, please contact Ashley Marsh Photography. You can find her on Facebook, on Instagram using Ashley Marsh Photography, as well as her website, ashleymarshphotography.com.
Located in Pilot Point, Texas, the Chandler family has been making custom cabinets for over 40 years. As a team, Chandler Cabinets is committed to designing and building the perfect cabinets for you. They will make the process comfortable and stress-free by personally guaranteeing a superior product built on the standard of superior craftsmanship and immaculate customer satisfaction. From concept to completion, perfect form and function. Chandler Cabinets is an award-winning company with a reputation for consistent innovation at the highest level of design. You can find more information on Chandler Cabinets at chandlercabinets.net or on their Facebook page, Chandler Cabinets. Chandler Cabinets, 40 years of excellence.
Hi, I'm Greg Pelzel. Here at Pelzel Printing, we do custom embroidery, custom screen printing, and promotional product. You can reach Greg Pelzel at 940-453-5443. Go Bearcats.
All right, so whenever Whitesboro has the ball, I already kind of mentioned it, you're going to look at a spread option. They have guys in the backfield that are capable ball carriers, for sure. Their quarterback does a good job throwing the ball. He has an absolute cannon. He can throw it long, for sure. He's kind of a rifle without a scope. Whenever he has pressure, it's just kind of a heave-ho. But he can throw it, and it's going to be a threat to our secondary for sure. The running backs, they do a great job of running the scheme. The fullback, he hits the dive hard, and then the pitch man's out there, and then they do a really good job of mixing in some design quarterback runs, and they have a good solid scheme that I think they have the personnel to run. If I did have to pick a weak point, which I don't really like doing that, so I'm probably actually not going to, because I don't want to give them any billboard material.
I don't blame you. What do, like we always, I kid you, and probably those listening are thrilled that I didn't get to watch game film this week. So I'm sitting by the guy in the stands. Who do I need to tell him to look at? I mean,
it's the quarterback.
Stands out?
The quarterback's the dealer.
Yeah.
And so he does such a good job of making his reads and making the appropriate decisions and taking care of the football. He's a tough kid. He's a good runner. He's a capable runner. But he's the one that's going to make him tick on offense. And the number on that quarterback's number 14. His name is Jake Hermes, and he does a good job. He's a junior, so that means we're going to have to see him for another year. So he'll continue to develop and continue to improve.
Do they throw it deep?
It's a deep and intermediate passing game based off play action mostly. When you're an option team, the straight drop back pass doesn't really benefit you that much. Now, fast flow on veer path creates a different read for the secondary, and you might get them to react a couple steps before they, oh crap, it's a pass, and then by that time you're hoping that you're behind them.
And that reason I asked, like we talked about in the post game from Paradise, we had 2 touchdown passes, one of 50 and one of 37, I believe.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the stat sheet, you're thinking, man, these guys
can heave
deep.
it. Yeah.
And that it's misleading. That's
Yeah.
why, since you've watched the film, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, and like I said, man, he has a cannon. He can rear back and he can throw it. Whenever we were scouting him at Gunner, because it was our bye week, he threw one. He was standing on the right hash at about I almost said the 52-yard line, but it was the 48 on the other side, so it's 52 yards from the end zone. And he threw it from the right hash to the numbers on the left side and hit the kid at about the 15-yard line or so, 10-yard line. That's a long throw. That's an incredibly long throw, and it was on target at the time. So, it's something we have to watch. It's not one of those things where the receivers are going to outrun his arm really quickly, and then he's athletic enough to move around the pocket and scramble around and make a play. So he's the one to watch. Number 14, Jake Hermes, is the offensive player to watch for the old Whitesboro Bearcats.
So let's hit a commercial break real quick and then come back and tell us what we need to know about the defense. Since 1983, the Scott Walker Insurance Agency has been covering the insurance needs of Pilot Point. Regardless of what that need may be, they have you covered, offering homeowners, auto, life, farm and ranch, and commercial. Give them a call at 940-686-2692. That's Germania Insurance, the Scott Walker Insurance Agency, located just north of the town square at 211 Scott Lane in Pilot Point, Texas. Scott Walker Insurance Agency, always there to help.
We want to wish our varsity cheerleader, Abby, a great senior year. Love Mom, Dad, and Michael.
There is no better source for local news than the Pilot Point Post-Signal. Pilot Point Post-Signal has been covering Pilot Point since 1878, providing award-winning, top-notch coverage of Pilot Point and the Pilot Point Bearcats. You can start your subscription today by going to postsignal.com and signing up for their special, which is 2 months free of the digital and print copy, or you can call their phone number at 940-686-2169. The Pilot Point Post-Signal, the best source for local news.
Pelzel Barbershop and Salon and Southern Junkies has been home of the Bearcats since 1973. Whether you are looking for a classic crew cut or the perfect game day outfit, we have you covered. We carry a few fan favorite brands including Hey Dude Shoes, Judy Blue Jeans, D Supply Clothing, and Orleans Candle Company. Come check us out on the north side of the square in downtown Paula Point or online at www.southernjunkies.com, and that is junkies with a Z. And don't forget, go Bearcats!
We're going to take a break from our show to give a word about the Nutrition Den. Ken and Angela, they offer a full line of Herbalife products. You can get a workout shake, a protein shake, meal replacement. They have energy drinks. They have a full line of products that can help you meet your health goals. Not only that, they're great people. They're fun to be around. They're fun to talk to.
Hit them up on Grubhub.
You can hit them up on Grubhub. And social media, they're active on their Facebook, which is the Nutrition Den. And there's even a check-in special to go along with their daily specials that they have almost every day of the week. So thank you, Ken and Angela. Thank you, Bearcat Nutrition Den. Now back to the show.
All right, thank you for that quick word from our sponsors. Now I'm going to put Chance on the spot.
Great.
He has no idea this question's coming. So, Chance, what kind of offense are we looking forward to seeing?
Wow. That is sorry. But I have the edit button.
You're going to be seeing spread option.
Okay.
Chance, spread option.
For those of you out there, no, I'm not listening. I'm frantically working at my real job on the computer. And I was also looking up some details that I was going to share with y'all later. And I do have the option to edit this out. But you know what? I'm going to leave it in.
Yeah.
Everyone listening needs a laugh.
What numbers are quarterback?
At 14.
Okay,
I did
all
pay
right.
attention to that.
What year is he?
He's a junior.
There
and we
you
will
go.
see him again.
There you go. All right. So
Now I'm going to go back to my real job while
No,
you
that's
talk.
fine.
Because I get to listen to this about 4 times as I edit it and post it.
I understand. All right. So
We'll close the curtain and get back to being serious broadcasters now.
Sorry, I had to do like Ish did Aiden the other morning.
Yeah, you did. Pulled it off.
Now, whenever Pilot Point has the ball, so when Pilot Point Bearcats have the ball, what you can expect to see from Whitesboro is we've seen 2 distinctly different alignments based off of what the opposing offense is given. I think what they want to be in is a 3-4 front with cover 2 read behind it. That's the best that I can see. Which cover 2 read is a match man. It's going to look a whole lot like man unless you run a whole bunch of different route combinations. And the 3-4 up front, it's going to look a lot like what we look like in special whenever you have 5 down linemen. they'll play a real tight 8 technique, but you can see that they're not as on the edge as we are with our defensive ends, and they do a good job running it. They blitz their inside linebackers quite a bit. Both their safeties are downhill players. Number 3 and number 24 they're really, really good tacklers on the edge. But I've been very impressed with the physicality of them. Watching the Brock game, they picked 6 to Brock. Number 6 jumped a out route and picked it off, took it to the house. So there's a big play mentality on that side of the ball. But the 3-4 is going to look very much different than, I know I always reference Wade Phillips whenever he was with the Cowboys. Wade Phillips ran a very pressure-oriented 3-4 where they were the defensive ends, those outside linebackers were very tight to the formation. That's not always what Whitesboro's going to do. You're going to get a nose, and you're going to get 4 techniques, which is going to be the inside eye of the offensive tackle. It's a 4-eye. You're going to get those, and then you're going to get some backers coming from the inside.
Well, I'm back now.
Okay.
Time-sensitive documents have been sent.
I understand.
So now I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah.
Moving forwand
Well, very good. Thank you for that.
Okay. I just want everybody to know.
No, but they get after it on defense. And we were talking about the strength of their schedule earlier. I think you have some.
Yes, that's also why I was distracted.
Yes.
But when you think, well, that schedule, they don't really have that good of a record. This was all prior to this Friday's games, and we want to start with Arbery, who was ranked 22nd in 4A D2. They just beat number 6 Salina. That's about to change. And then obviously they've played Brock, who's first in the state in 3A D1, and then they've played Gunner, who is third in 3A D2. Bells is ranked 22nd in 3A D2, and then Boyd is ranked 31st in 3A D2. So it's not like they're got a lot of gimmies on that schedule.
No, not at all.
And they've played good, tough football. They've seen everything.
If you look, the one thing that I would say is if you look at the schedules, the offenses that they have seen traditionally are very run heavy, closed formations. Bells runs a slot T. Boyd is a very quarterback-centric run game out of very tight formations. Gunner, we've seen their offense. We know that they're going to be, wings and slots and tight ends.
In my uneducated eye, I think Arbery, Brock, and Gunner, even Boyd, run basically the same thing.
Boyd's going to be a little bit different, but generally, yes. The plays hit in the same spots. Just Boyd is very quarterback-centric, and we'll get to that the week that we play him. But they have a fantastic running quarterback.
Which is unusual because if we go back to when we talked about Gunner in that preview show, you said that what is one of the most difficult things about it is not being familiar with it. Well, it's kind of the opposite effect is happening to Whitesboro. Yeah. The offense that they're most familiar with is not what they're going to see this week.
Not only that, but it's also what they practice against every day with a triple option. And so, they've – I would expect that they're going to be ready, willing, and able and well prepared to play the run.
Yeah.
Just based off of what they've seen on their schedule. They've seen some really, really good running games.
Well, if I was going to scout us and we were doing the Pilot Point Bearcat scouting report, I would be saying, you would be telling me number 21 is the guy to watch out for.
Yeah.
So.
He can hurt you. We've seen him hurt people.
Yeah.
And so, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a well-contested game. I think we're in a place as a program where we are at the respect all, fear none type category of we're going to respect whoever steps across the field from us because, Lord knows that we can lose to anybody. But we're not going to fear anybody. When the later on in the year, whenever a team might come to town, we're not going to be shivering in our boots and things like that about, oh my gosh, we have to play them. No, we respect everybody. We're going to prepare for everyone, and I think that's where it's going to be. And I think Whitesboro feels like they're in the same place.
I think we'll get their best.
We always do.
I believe the last time, and back to was I paying attention, 2 years ago when they played here, they left with the victory on a muddy Massey Field grass.
Yep, 21-12.
Yeah, and then to go full circle back to Eddie Wood, he was drawn for a punt, pass, and kick contest at halftime, and when he went to punt it out there on that muddy field, he slipped and fell.
Well, so you're saying that Eddie isn't the athlete that John was?
Maybe he was back in his day, but he didn't wear his cleats to the game that night.
Well, Eddie, make sure you bring your cleats, just in case.
Hey, we've got turf now.
Well, yeah, I want him to put his best foot forward.
Okay.
After the debacle of 2-3 years ago, he needs to make sure he puts.
If only we could find that on film.
You know, I mean, if he wants to show up early, I'll play a game of football golf with him, and he can try to get his pride back.
Good enough.
Yeah. Hey, we always want to thank our sponsors. They do such a good job of helping us get this out here, and I will talk about one in particular because I visited her this week, and that's Southern Junkies with Gretchen up there. Not only did I get a fantastic haircut, I also harassed her about not getting the orange Hey Dudes in yet. But I will say that I did get a pair of black Hey Dudes, and they are the most comfortable shoes that I've ever worn.
I'll tell you another little interesting tidbit about Southern Junkies. I'm not going to make everybody go back down that story, but had it not been for Southern Junkies loaning us their mobile hotspot, we would have been dead in the water broadcasting at Paradise with the hurdles we were given. So
to Gretchen and Southern Junkies, thank you so much for your support. And to the other sponsors, all right, we have Chandler Cabinets, Pelzel Printing, Ashley Marsh Photography, The Nutrition Den, Dana Walker with Germania Insurance, and last but not least, the Pilot Point Post Signal.
And I'm going to issue that dad joke one more time. I'm guaranteeing a Bearcat victory.
But as always, like we end every show, go Bearcats.